See, they wasn't even expecting it. They wasn't ready. They wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for Victory Talk to almost start on time. Come on, man. We getting the lateness sub 10 minutes, right? We only 7 minutes late today. That's what it's talking about, man. That's what I've been talking about, man. Just getting better every day, man. Progress, not perfection. We're making progress, man. Matter of fact, let's start the show. Yeah. Victory Talk, man. Welcome. You know, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the things that I regret in my life is I'll never be able to experience me live. You know what I'm saying? I'll never be able to see me do something live. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really do that, you know? But that's the cross I bear, man. You know what I'm saying? I do that for y'all sins. I make that sacrifice for y'all sins, man. Gymnasium Jesus will do that for you. You know what it is. Welcome to another episode of That Victory Talk. You know what it is. It's the podcast where we talk about how you can build your money, muscle, and your mindset, right? Your money, muscle, mindset. Because who don't want to get more money? Who don't want to be stronger, more ripped? You know what I'm saying? And who don't want to have a stronger, rock solid, bulletproof mindset? Figuratively, not literally. I know some of y'all are super stupid and you think that I'm gonna make you like a literal superhero. You know what I'm saying? You dumb, man. Ain't no hope for you. But the rest of y'all, man, we're gonna guide y'all down that path of more success, more triumph, more victory. We got a lot of that in store today, man. All right. Ain't no guess. It's just me. It's just me and it's just y'all. And we're gonna get it in, man. Of course, I got Minovia reading the comments with the super chats and shit. I got the homie Nima straight out of Iran, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of Iran, working the boards, making shit beautiful and making shit sound good. You know what it is. And more importantly than that, though, we got a sponsor. We got a sponsor for the episode. Now, you won't believe this, guys. This episode of That Victory Talk is actually sponsored by Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent. Yeah. This is it. Thot Repellent is easy to apply spray for thoughts, right? And most of y'all don't have a problem with this. Most of y'all are like, oh, how do I get girls? You fucking on forums and shit. Buying courses. How to get girls and shit. If you was really a G, you'd have to duck these hoes, man. They'd be all over you, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of problem you want. That's the kind of problem the big dogs have, the big homies will have, you know? And this is not for most of y'all. This is only for people who have joined the Victory Unit Discord, right? Because in the Discord, they taking advantage of the free courses we have, right? The free trainings we have, right? And they in a like-minded group of other, you know what I'm saying, people who are trying to improve their money muscle mindset. And once you get your money muscle mindset to a certain level, then these hoes, they're gonna be all over you, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like niggas who are in the Victory Unit, we are the reason that the rest of you motherfuckers are here chasing hoes. Right? You chasing them, where they running to? They running towards motherfucking baller shot caller motherfuckers who got their money muscle or mindset right, dummy. And we running from them. We curbing your dream girls. Hoes you jagging off to, man. We leaving them on red as shit, man. Motherfucking, or just fucking blocking these hoes, man, because it's too many. No más chicas, por favor. You say, what are you gonna do with all this pussy, man? Too much. Victory Unit members, man, they be hitting me up every day. Like, God damn, it's too much pussy, man. I don't know what to do. It's like I'm getting distracted, right? I'm saying, hey, man, you need some Thot Repellent. You need some Thot Repellent. And we're working on this product, man, because it's for the ballers. You know how these hoes do, man. They come in your life once you start balling. They fuck the whole shit up. They fuck the whole shit up, man. They come in, try to fucking take your money, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get your motherfucker, try to get your motherfucking semen inside of them. Have your black babies. Now you got to pay this hoe for 18 years. God damn, some shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen to you, man. That's why we put together Thot Repellent, baby. You know what I'm saying? All your super chats, 100% of your super chats go towards the research and development for Thot Repellent. It's very expensive to bring a product like this to market, right? Because it's so much research, right? I got a fucking army of like nerds and shit with beakers, fucking lab coats. They running experiments on like animals and shit. You know what I'm saying? you know how many dogs had to die when this first batch of Thot Repellent to get done just for the prototype, man. Just for the prototype. It was a goddamn massacre. And fucking we gotta get more dogs. Like we're buying more dogs to test this product on. Y'all think I'm joking, right? I used to work for Abbott Laboratories in their marketing and sales divisions, you know. And when I went down to the lab and shit, saw the motherfucking nerds making drugs and shit, you know. Abbott Laboratories is one of the Fortune 500 companies, you know, right outside of Chicago, man, the mighty city of Chicago. And they had motherfucking animals down there, man. They tested shit on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you motherfuckers don't want to die from some dumbass disease. Some animals got to die first. The animals gonna die for your sins, and that tradition continues with Thot Repellent, man. So that costs a lot of money, man. I got nerds in labs killing animals to build this shit for you, man. It's real shit, man. It costs a lot of money, man. All right. So anyway, all your super chats go towards research and development, Thot Repellent, you know, new dogs, and dog disposal. Dog carcass disposal. That shit costs money too. You can't just put them in a dumpster, man. You gotta do shit with them. Y'all know nothing about it. Y'all never made a fucking pharmaceutical product. I'm telling you, man. This how it works. Hey, man. Them dogs is happy to die for y'all, man. Man's best friend. Man, best friend. It's gonna be one of them episodes, guys. I can see right now. It's gonna be one of them episodes. Is where we at right now. All right. Listen, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. I hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all doing good, man. Hope y'all being victorious out here and getting it popping. I got a lot of stuff to talk to you about, and some of that talk is real talk. Real talk. All right. I know a lot of you guys have some bad habits. Some of you guys got some disgusting habits, gross shit. You know what I'm saying? That you afraid to say out loud or admit to yourself, man. Be crying in the mirror after you do some of this shit, you know? And you want to learn how to break your bad habits, right? And you want to replace those bad habits with good habits that will be advantageous and help you and propel you towards the advancement of your goals. And in this video, I'm going to break down a strategy you can implement immediately to help build better habits and to decrease the likelihood of you engaging in those bad habits, right? So you can finally have some respect for yourself, man. And bad habits are fucking up your self-esteem because you know some shit you're not supposed to do, but you do it anyway. You hate yourself a little bit. You ashamed of yourself and shit. That ain't helping you accomplish nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to help. So in this video, I'm going to break down a foolproof plan for you to actually build better habits, make it easier for you to build better habits, and make it harder for you to engage in those bullshit habits that are fucking up your life and embarrassing you, your family, and your legacy. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is the problem we all face. We live in a world of convenience, instant gratification, and technologies and modern living have made it easier for us to fall into bad habits, and it made it a lot more difficult for us to form good habits, right? This causes a tug of war between instant gratification, things we want right now, and our greatest aspirations, the things that are going to help us long term. Because typically things that feel good in the moment are usually things that are going to be bad for you long term, and things that don't feel good in the moment are usually good for you long term, right? For example, I never did heroin. I never shot up heroin, but it seems like people really enjoy it in the moment. It seems like it's something that they get a lot of gratification from when they while they it seems like something that the junkies get a lot of gratification for while they're indulging in that activity. But typically, I hate to make broad generalizations, but typically heroin usage is bad for your long-term results and your long-term livelihood. But maybe your habits aren't as bad as shooting up heroin in the alley. It may be something as simple as mindless scrolling through social media, indulging in unhealthy snacks, making you fat and gross. It could be procrastinating, slacking on important tasks, and breaking these bad habits can pose a significant challenge for most people. But fear not. At the heart of this epic struggle lies a secret weapon: the formidable power of friction, right? No, I'm going to show you how to utilize friction and wield this power as an ally to help you shape good habits, and help you stop those bad habits that you've been indulging in, right? By strategically introducing friction into your daily routine, you can break bad habits and accelerate the adoption of good ones. Let's dive into it. Oh shit, this iPad. This iPad is causing friction. All right. So okay. I don't know if any of you guys have ever held a firearm, but on the firearm, the handle, the grip is usually not smooth, right? Why is it not smooth? Because we don't want that firearm to slip out of your hands and bullets go everywhere, right? The friction allows the firearm to stay in place. Probably a better example would be, let's say you're driving. I'm gonna draw a car. Let's say you're driving down the road. Right, you're driving down the road, and how do I want to do this? You're trying to get to a destination, but you ever drive over some shit or like a speed bump or something? And what does that do? The speed bump is meant to slow you down, right? So you don't go all super fast. Then you go over the speed bump, and then you start moving. Then you can go around your speed, right? They put these speed bumps in the road in order to slow you down. This is a form of friction, right? Making it more difficult to go down the path, right? This is a key. Sorry. Friction is a tool I want you to utilize in order to accomplish your goals. Oh, no, okay. You may be thinking, Brandon, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Fucking roads, cars, handguns. What's this got to do with me getting this money? You know, check me out. I'm going to play you a little clip from the homie Jeff Bezos, where he talked about friction. Check this out. I'm playing over here.
You want to do more of something, make the friction less. If you want to do less of something, make the friction more. If there's a particular snack food that you like a lot and it's making you fat, put it on the top shelf where it's harder to get to, and you'll eat less of it. So you know, don't leave it on your kitchen counter. You want to do more.
All right. That's not, I know that looks like a white man from the future, but that's actually present day Jeff Bezos, the second or third richest man in the world. And these motherfuckers at Amazon, the company he owns, they use friction almost better than any other. You don't put it on yet. They utilize friction better than almost any company you've ever seen. Let me explain. If you ever go to Amazon and let's say you want to buy something. Okay, I'm gonna use this example. Boom. I showed this. Let's say I want to buy this MacBook, right? This fucking MacBook, right? All I gotta do is click on it and I can just hit here, buy now. I could add it to a cart or I can just buy now. That wasn't always there. The reason they put this here is because it reduces friction, right? So just like this car example, if this friction is not here, you'll move faster, right? But because we introduce friction here, it slows you down, right? When they put this buy button here for a fucking reason. You could add a bunch of shit to your car or you just hit buy right now, right? This is Amazon reducing friction to make it easier for you to buy so they can extract money from your motherfucking wallet more consistently. Now, that was the first time I saw them introduce it, but then they took it to a whole nother level. For example, let's say I wanted to buy, don't put it on. Let's say I wanted to reduce friction. It's wild. It's wild over here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I wanted to reduce friction even more. What they do is Amazon wants you to subscribe and save, right? Like, check this out. For example, this is some shit that I fucking purchased 10 times. I fucking drink this shit all the time. It's keto aid. It tastes like fucking garbage. You know what I'm saying? It tastes like fucking garbage, right? I'm not that really familiar with gorilla piss, but I imagine this is what gorilla piss would probably fucking smell like or taste like, right? It's gross, but it gives you a ton of energy. Anyway, Amazon wants you to subscribe and save, right? They want you to subscribe to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. So what they did, they wanted us to subscribe to it, right? So instead of putting the buy one time button here, what these motherfuckers do, man? What these motherfuckers do? They put the fucking setup, subscribe and save. Instead of adding it to the cart, they put it up. They make subscribe and save the easy option, right? The easy option. I just put it in subscribe and save, right? Or now, because they don't want me to purchase it once, they want me to subscribe. What do? They add friction. I got to put it here. You know what I'm saying? To do this. But if I want to subscribe and save, all right, cool. I subscribe to this shit. Cool. They're reducing friction. Have you ever tried to cancel a subscribe and save? It's not that easy. I'm not even sure how you do it. I mean, I've done it before, but it's like a fucking complex ordeal. It's a fucking series of trials and series of web pages. And then when you see the cancel subscribe, it's super fucking small on the page. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, Amazon is trying to increase friction on the things they want you to do and they're trying to decrease friction on the things they don't want you to do, right? They want you to subscribe to everything, so you'll be on what? Auto pay. And auto payment is actually a form of auto payment is also a form of reducing friction, right? Because now you don't have to do nothing and you're going to buy that shit every month or every week. Okay. They want me to repeat this again for when we do when we make this into a long form video. So take two. Amazon wants to decrease friction on the things they want you to do more of, right? Like subscribe to fucking goddamn anything, right? And they want to decrease friction on things that they don't want you to do, right? Like cancel your motherfucking subscribe and save, right? You know, because actually being on subscribe and save is a way that they decrease the friction of you making purchases, right? Because if you hit subscribe and save, you're just going to be you're going to buy that shit every month without doing nothing. It's like zero friction. But to cancel that shit is a ton of friction. You know what I'm saying? And Jeff that was a video of Jeff explaining that, you know, that's a philosophy he agrees with wholeheartedly. So how do you apply this to your life? Right? Let's look into it. Hold up. Okay. So the very first thing to do, let's say you want to, there's like sorry. Let's say there's a good habit that you want to cultivate, right? It's a good habit that you want to cultivate. You want to do it more, right? So what you need to do is figure out ways to decrease the friction, right? For example, let's say you want to get in the habit of working out every day, right? So how could you decrease the friction when it comes to working out every morning, like first thing in the morning, right? Well, what you could do is set up your workout clothes, your shoes, mix up your pre-workout, and leave it in the refrigerator the night before, right? So now all you got to do is put your shit on, chug your pre-workout, and head out the door, right? So what you've done is in the morning when you don't want to do it, it's less friction than if you had to go find what to wear, mix the shit up. You know, you decrease the friction. It's way less friction when you set up the night before. Does that make sense? Or for example, for this podcast room, right? When we set up this podcast studio, I wanted no friction, like zero friction, especially if you're going to be doing this shit twice a week. So instead of setting shit up and breaking it down fucking twice a week, I said, you know what? I'm going to take everything out of this room and just make it a podcast studio. And we're going to leave the fucking cameras running all the time. And we're not going to use these cameras for anything else. Right? So we want to film something else. Don't touch these fucking cameras in here. Don't touch these lights in here. Don't touch the computers in here. Everything has to stay the same. Everything is just in here. So all I got to do is sit down, yell at the camera. And that's all I had to do. It's like very little friction for me to do this podcast. But what if I had to fucking set shit up every time, set up the lights, set up the fucking cameras, put the computers, get the computers computing and all that other shit. That should be a goddamn nightmare. That shit would be a motherfucking nightmare, man. So I decreased the friction, and that's how we end up with a podcast every 2 weeks, right? You get what I'm saying? Does this make sense, you guys? This is how we end up with a podcast twice a week, right? Because there's zero friction. All I gotta do is sit down, right? So in order to decrease friction, what you can do is there's a few methods. Hold on, I'm in the wrong thing. Give me a second. Now I'm encountering a little bit of friction. You know what I'm saying? The key to good habits is to. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Fuck. It's to decrease friction. So some ways you can do that is prep. Ooh. Fire. Yeah, it's the prep. Be prepared. It's to be prepared. So that's example. Like when I show up to the podcast, I'm just prepared, man. I know exactly what's going to happen. All I got to do is sit down. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm running out of space. Let me write this down. Let me fucking zoom in. Sorry, man. I'm still getting used to podding. I don't know if you can read that. Whatever. Be prepared. Right? Be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Have shit set up in a way where it makes things easy for you. You know what I'm saying? Clear the path is what I'm trying to say. But also, another thing you can do is fix your environment. Right? You can alter your environment where there's a decrease in friction. For example, with the gym I had when I lived in New York, I was a member of a few different gyms, and one of the gyms I went to a lot was Crunch, right? But then I moved to the Upper West Side, and there was no Crunch gym available, right? So now there's a lot of friction to get to the gym I want to get to. I had to take some mode of transportation, whether it was like a Uber or get on the subway or some shit like that. So instead, what I did was I got a more expensive membership at Equinox because it was super close on 72nd Street, and that was super close. It was on Broadway, and I could just walk over there. It was like 2 blocks away, and that just decreased the friction, right? So I put myself in an environment. I altered my environment where it was easier for me to accomplish that goal, right? Another thing you can do is yeah. That's good. So you want to prepare before, but also alter your environment, right? This will help you cultivate these good habits, right? Then but in fuck, I'm sorry. All right. Alter your environment, right? But then what about the bad habits? Bad habits that you want to break. Bad habits that you want to break, right? You have to kind of do some of the opposite, right? For example, if I had a guilty pleasure, it would be ice cream, right? You know, I don't know why I really like Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Like, is there some ice cream in the house? Oh, did I spill? All right. Is there some ice cream in the house? Then I'm gonna eat it all. I'm gonna eat it all tonight, like immediately, right? So same thing with the environment here with the good habits. You want to increase friction here, right? Let me show you what that looks like. So the bad habits, well, let me start over. With the bad habits, you want to increase friction, right? right? You want to increase friction on a bad habit. So again, one of my guilty pleasures is ice cream. Like if there's some ice cream in the house, I'm gonna eat it all. So what I do, there's no fucking ice cream in the house, right? It's more difficult for me to get it. Now, if I want ice cream, I gotta call Uber Eats or I gotta go outside and walk somewhere, right? But if I went to that's a lot. I can still do that. Right? But there's more friction, right? It's a lot more friction than just walking to the freezer. You get what I'm saying? So it's actually the same thing, right? It's actually like a similar protocol. Right? The environment. But also you want to set up obstacles. Right? Set up obstacles, kind of like with the speed bump example, right? So let me give you an example from my phone, right? I don't want to waste time. I like to make moves and get money, right? And I like to spend the majority of my time. I like to make sure the majority of my time is deployed against the acquisition of capital. So I don't want to waste my time doing bullshit, right? So I did a few things on my phone. For one, on my cell phone, there's zero social media apps, right? Because I don't want to waste time on it. But I also made the shit gray. Right, I took all the color out of it, so it's like less appealing. Right, and then of course I can still do the things if I want. I can figure it out, or I can download an app or some shit and then do it. But there's more friction there than if it's just at my disposal all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I set up friction on my phone so I don't use it as much. Right now it's just a fucking text message device. All it does is order Uber Eats, Ubers, text people, calendar, like the shit that will help me. Right, but the apps that will suck out all my time, social media and shit, fuck that shit. That's just not even on there. You know what I'm saying? So I set up those obstacles for myself. Does that make sense? Right? And so what you want to do is figure out what your bad habits are and set up obstacles to manage that. Put obstacles in front of you to make it harder for you to do them. Right? Obviously, you'll still be able to do it, right? But you just want to add friction to it. Does this make sense? For example, my nephew, yeah, fuck it, I'll say. My nephew, he has a problem gambling. He probably gambles too much. Even though that's part of his business, sports gambling. This motherfucker will send the people that pay him for coaching. He'll send them the shit that he feels really good about, but he'll still do wild ass gambles because he's a fucking gambling addict, right? So I was like, yo, little bro, come to here to Miami, right? Because online gambling is not legal here. This way you can give people the tips and everything, right? But you can't gamble, so you can't handle it, right? Now he can still do it. He'd have to send his bets to somebody back in Chicago, and they have to log into his fucking FanDuel and do the bet for him, right? But there's more friction there. It's way more friction than him actually just doing it on his phone. And as a result, he gambles less, right? He just told that guy who's in his account, hey, just to only gamble with the picks I send to the group, right? So I don't do that other wacky shit I was doing. It was fucking up the money. You get what I'm saying? So he added friction, and as a result, he actually made money as opposed to fucking losing it on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Is this making sense to you guys? Are you guys getting this? I hope everyone's understanding this. It's the power of decreasing friction on the things you want to do more of and increasing friction on the things you want to do less of. So I want you to just make a list of all the good habits that you want to cultivate and then figure out ways to decrease friction to make accomplishing them more likely, right? And then the things you want to abstain from, right? Make a list of them. Make a list of all these bad habits, and then think of ways where you can increase the friction, right? Increase the friction to make it easier for you to abstain from these activities. And if you can do that, it'll be a lot easier for you to cultivate good habits and to mitigate bad habits, right? This is the really and if you don't believe that it works, just remember the example from Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is one of the richest people in the world, and he said the same thing in the beginning of this video, right? And the reason I put that there, because a lot of times, shit I be saying is like fucking rock solid advice, but sometimes y'all don't believe it unless you hear like a white man say it. And I get that, man. Maybe I understand. I'm a fucking guy in a tank top. I sound like a slave. I'm out here fucking yelling at the camera and shit, being all goofy, making jokes. That's why I wanted to put the white man in front of it, the rich white man say, because I know a lot of times y'all hold those opinions in way more higher regard. But look at how he runs his business, though. That's one of the most profitable businesses of all times. And you see how they strategically utilize friction in order to get you to do the things they want you to do, and in order to prevent you from doing the things they don't want you to do. It's super simple. If you don't believe it, try to cancel the fucking subscribe and save right now. It's a fucking nightmare. It's a maze. It's intricate maze. And then once you finally do find the button, it's not even a button. It's some text, and it's not even lit. It's not even lit up. It's small. It's not even a button, right? Subscribe and save is big as fuck. It's flashing is the first thing. But the cancel subscribe and save, it's not even a fucking button. It's just like text. And the shit is not even fucking a different color or nothing. It's just black text. It's so it's a nightmare. And that's why they're one of the most successful companies of all time, man. You implement the same strategy in your life and you'll be success. Finally, and you can stop having to watch fucking YouTube videos on how not to suck, right? Because you won't suck as much, man. That's my gift to you. Do we have any super chats?
We do. We have Mav. R&D, keep roasting us, big bro.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Blackjack.
Big Blackjack.
Uploading YouTube shorts daily.
All right.
I add keywords and hashtags in the description, but views are very low. My reels are 30 to 60 seconds long. Any advice on getting more views? Just keep uploading?
Yeah, man, you got to keep uploading. I mean, how long you been doing it, Blackjack? Right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people, this is something I've noticed just from coaching like thousands of people over the years. A lot of people will try something and be like, oh, it's not working. And a lot of times it's not because the thing doesn't work. It's because maybe they're not good at it yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like skill acquisition, right? You got to get good at the thing for it to work. That may be the case with you, Blackjack. Maybe you got to make better videos, maybe, or maybe it's just fucking soon. It's like, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but it takes a minute for things to start, right? Like you ain't going to get like hundreds of thousands of views, week 1, week 2, maybe not even month 1 or month 2, right? Maybe not even year 1 or year 2, right? It takes a minute for the ball to start rolling. You know what I'm saying? But once it starts rolling, it goes. But most people quit before things start to really get to the level where they start to see the fruits of their labor, Yeah. Hopefully you won't be one of them, Blackjack, man. Keep it up, bro. Congrats on starting. Mm-hmm.
Best tips on finding the highest converting price for a service-based business. How do you test prices and for how long?
It's funny you mention that, man. Like, price is an illusion, man. Price is an illusion. It's not real, right? For example, let me show you something, man. Like if we looked at, let me bring up a stock chart. I'm gonna bring up a stock chart. Check this out. Check this shit out. Oh shit, that was the wrong one. Hold up. The price is just an illusion. It's make believe, man. So check this out, man. This is a chart of Apple's stock chart, right? Let's make it bigger. Pause. Right? Apple stock chart. I'm gonna put it on like, the daily view, right? So 2 days ago, Apple was worth $180 per share, right? Today, it's worth $188 per share, right? What fucking changed? Nothing. Nothing, right? It's just, this is what people are willing to pay for it now versus what they were willing to pay for it 2 days ago. You get what I'm saying? And this shit is all an illusion, man. Like price is just what people are willing to pay for a product or service. And that shit can be anything. homie. For example, you know, the price. My jeweler, when he bought this AP, I know because I checked. I mean, when he bought this Richard Mille, like he paid like $300K for it. You know what I'm saying? And he thought it was going to keep going up. It didn't go up. Like the market price dropped, and then when I bought it, it was $200K. But like the fucking watch didn't change. It's just that's what people were willing to pay for it at a time, and it's malleable. It can change at any moment. Like price is just a fucking illusion. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what people are willing to pay for something. And there's a lot of factors and a lot of variables that can decide that, right? One can be like your marketing, it can be value, but it also be perceived value, right? They're different, like real value and then perceived value. And then value can be, and then actual real value can be different, you know, for different people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't need no fucking cancer medication. I won't pay nothing for it, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had the cancer. But somebody who's dying of that shit, if you got the cure for that shit, it's worth, he'll give you everything for it, right? I won't give you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless I feel like I can sell it to a sick cancerous motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's only if I have the ability to do it, right? So there's like so many variables. It's like everybody's different. And it's your ability, but it's not just value and perceived value. It's also your ability to convey the value, right? And that's what sales and marketing is, ability to convey value, right? And it could be fucking anything. If it depends on you, right? So I would look at what the market, right? I would look at what the market rates are, right? Competitors in similar industries, what they're charging, and no less than that. Like no less than that, but you can charge more for that if your ability to sell and market is better. You get what I'm saying? Like this is like, and for all intents and purposes, man, this is fucking. Let's be real. A Richard Mille, the movement inside the watch is built by AP, right? However, AP won't put fucking rubber on titanium and shit, right? Like it's a good watch, but is it really worth $200,000 or $300,000 what my jeweler paid for it, right? It's in the eye of the beholder. You get what I'm saying? And that's kind of what, like, price is just an illusion, man. It's fucking, it goes up and down. It can fluctuate, man. Price is an illusion. You know, you can charge whatever the truth is you can charge whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Truth is what you can charge whatever you can get. Price is not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a made up construct. Maybe I should do a video on that, but I don't know. You can charge anything, bro. All right. What else we got?
We have Mako.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brandon, great job on making amazing content. Also, what are your thoughts on law of attraction or the saying you become what you think about?
Yo, thanks for that bread, homie. You know what I'm saying? First of all, our law of attracted some of that money just now. You know, I don't know if the law of attraction is bullshit or not. What? All right. Maybe. I don't know if the law of attraction is real or not, but there are some things that I do know about life. The law of attraction, the way that it's sold in books and movies and documentaries and shit, excuse me, I don't know that it's bullshit, but I don't know that it's not, but I'm not trying to depend on that when it comes to like accomplishing my goals. You know, for example, The Secret will have you believing that you can just think about some shit and shit just happens. Like when I saw the movie, like that really happened, man. This little boy was like drawing pictures of bicycles and shit. And then like some old man came and gave him a bicycle for free, you know, out of nowhere. And he had to do shit but draw a bicycle. I don't think that's reality. I don't think that's reality. You know what I'm saying? You're saying ain't no old man gonna give you no gifts without you having to perform sexual favors. You're gonna have to do something probably. You know what I'm saying? And and you know what's more, you know, that book, The Secret, when Shorty wrote The Secret, she said she read another book that really inspired her and led her down that path. You know, the book she was talking about was called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And I read that book mad times when I was younger, right? But one thing that Wally D said mad times in the book, he said, do all that can be done each day. And it's weird. He said it like no less than 50 times in that book. And every time he wrote it, it was in all caps. And sometimes that would be the only paragraph. Do all that can be done each day. Right. But then Shorty come and made The Secret. And she just said, oh, you could just think about it, man. Draw a bicycle, man. Somebody show up and give it to you. That's how it works, baby. It's dope. Yeah, y'all should all do this. I don't understand why everybody don't do it, you know. But she left out the most important part, like do all that can be done each day. So for me, I don't know that the law of attraction is bullshit or not. However, there might be something to it. There might be something to it, right? Let me show you something. Let me see if I can find this shit. Because if I find this shit, I'm gonna blow your motherfucking mind. If I find this shit, man, if it's here. If it's here, this shit's gonna blow your fucking mind, bro. Damn, I don't think I got it. Wait a minute, maybe. Hold up. All right, that ain't it. Fuck, this would have been good if I had this shit to show you. This would be so good if I had it. Fuck. Like, it really, I would blow your mind if I had this shit right now, but that don't mean nothing to you. If I had this, it'd be dope. You don't care about that. Hold on. Give me a second. Damn, I can't find it. Fuck, that would have been amazing. All right, maybe I'll show it later, right? Maybe we'll show it. All right. So this is something that I you know what? I know where it is. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Bear with me, guys. I'm real sorry, bro. I know this shit is like gonna be. You're gonna appreciate this when you see it, man. Just chill out. Just bear with me. Hold up. Because if I can find this shit, yeah, I'm gonna really blow your mind. All right. Check this out. So don't show it yet though. I gotta build it up. So it might have been 2018, 2017. I had my videographer. His name was Johnny Ty at the time, right? I was like, yo, Johnny, here's what I need you to do. Take this photo of me, and I want you to Photoshop me with ClickFunnels award for doing $10 million with a funnel, right? Because ClickFunnels gives you an award with that. Photoshop me with that award, and Photoshop me with the YouTube plaque for $10 million. I mean, I'm sorry, the YouTube plaque for 1 million subscribers, right? And he came back with something that looked like this. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is part of it. You know what I'm saying? He photoshopped this shit for me, you know? And I printed this shit out. You can take it out. And I printed this shit out, and I had it like above my desk, like every day, you know, for mad long, you know. And and yo, fun fact, I got both those awards now. Right. If we look up, I saw it. I got the YouTube plaque right here. You know what I'm saying? I can, and I got the other award. It's in the other room, right? Oh shit! No, she ain't got to go get it. It's cool. I don't want to fuck this shit up. How y'all do this? This episode is a mess. All right. All right, cool. And I got the other war. So I can really go take that picture now. You know what I'm saying? I got both those things. However, it was a lot of work. It was definitely a lot of work. You get what I'm saying? So the secret was saying I could just draw the shit and just imagine it and it'll show up, you know, like I'm magic or like I'm a fucking X-Man or some shit, right? But that's not how it worked. What happened was I did the part of I really focused on the part in The Science of Getting Rich where Wally D said, do all that can be done each day. And when you think about that shit, man, it's like, do all that can be done each day. Have any of y'all ever done all that can be done any day? Like doing all that can be done is not like working hard. It's like working at capacity, like all you can do. You know what I'm saying? So that means you're not fucking bullshitting on video games. That means you're not out fucking enjoying life or whatever fucking fruity shit y'all be saying. You're not out here getting high. You're not doing anything that's not in congruence with you accomplish your goal. That's all that can be done, right? And it's not sometimes. It's not most days. It's not even a lot. It's every day. Do all that can be done each day. And if you do that, man, if anybody who really did that, I don't really see how they can fail at their goal. I mean, as long as their goal is within the realms of like reality, right? You know, no matter how much I do, I can't fly. Yeah, we know, dumbass, right? You know, shut the fuck up. You know, we're talking about like, you know, real shit that people can do. You fucking retard. You know, do all that can be done each day. Like, you know, if it's within the realms of reality, you're not trying to break the laws of physics. Yo, man, you will really accomplish your goals. But almost nobody does all that can be done any day, and they definitely don't do it each day, and they don't do it for a significant amount of time, right? So whether the law of attraction is real, shit will fucking shit will start showing up. It's I don't know, right? But if you do all that can be done each day, you will definitely have a higher likelihood of accomplishing your goal. In fact, I don't think you can fail if you did all that can be done each day. Because think about the shit. Think about the things that you really wanted in life. Think about the things that you tried to accomplish in life and you failed, right? Were you really going all out? I mean, like all out. Were you really doing all that can be done every day? Or are you slacking off, enjoying life, bullshit, doing other shit? You know, I already know the answer. Because if you were going all out, you would have got that shit, you know? But the thing is, people like pussyfoot towards their goals, right? They say, oh, I deserve to take the day off, or I need to chill, or I just want to live life, or I just want to do this, or I just want to do that. All right, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But now you're adding variables to the equation, you know what I'm saying, that don't need to be there. Like if you went all out, you would have that shit, bro. I promise you. Like I promise you, if you went all out, if you did all that can be done each day, I promise you would have that shit. But you out here pussyfooting. You know what I'm saying? You trying to do that. You trying to go after your goal, but you still trying to go out to the club. You know what I'm saying? You still trying to chase hoes, right? You still trying to get high. You still playing video games. You still staying up late jagging off, or whatever the fuck you motherfuckers do in your spare time, you know? Like you still have spare time, right? You shouldn't have spare time. You're like doing all that can be done each day means all that can be done, like literal capacity. You should go to sleep exhausted each day, right? If you do that, you can't fail, right? But none of y'all gonna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And she left that out of the secret because you can't sell that. You can't sell that. You know what I'm saying? Let me find something for you, man. Hold up.
For the workout.
Hold up. I saw this clip the other day of the homie Muhammad Ali, man. Check this shit out. Check what he said.
What's the central part of your training? Is it running? Is it sparring? Or
Central part
is dodging the nightclubs and the parties and the girls. You want the truth? And being in the bed by yourself at 9 o'clock at night. And if you can get by that, you'll make it. That's the truth. I'll tell you the truth. You talk all that running and hitting the bags and jogging and biting them, you won't. Dodging ladies is the main thing. Especially when you're pretty like me.
What's the
Yo,
central part of your training? Is it?
That was a big fact, right? You know, like what he was saying, but you can, he said ladies was the main thing, but it might not just be ladies with y'all, right? It might also be motherfucking video games. It might also be smoking weed. It might be all this other shit, alcohol, you know, vices and shit of that nature. Like, that's the hard part. Doing all you can do each day, right? When I was coming up, man, I promise you, when I was struggling and I needed to get my family out of the situation we were in after my father committed suicide, it's like, yo, man, I wasn't having fun. I wasn't out here doing shit. You know, like I wasn't out here doing recreational shit. You know, I wasn't going to fucking parties. I wasn't going to barbecues, birthday parties. You know, I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't watching sports. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't going to the movies. I wasn't going to basketball. I wasn't doing nothing except for going after my goal each day. I was doing all that could be done each day, but that's because it was a must. I had to do it, right? You know, we were in the middle of the worst economic recession since the Depression, record unemployment. Father just shot himself in the head. You know what I'm saying? I got to support the family, take care of my mom, my sister, my you know, help out grandma. You know, it's like it was all on my shoulders. It was going to be up to me, right? And what ended up being the biggest tragedy ended up being my biggest blessing, because it forced me to go all out, right? The thing is, for y'all, it's like the shit ain't really, you don't want the shit bad enough. Like I had to succeed for the sake of myself and my family, right? I had to. It was like a must. It wasn't something I wanted. It was something I had to have, right? And that's the thing. You don't get what you want. You only get what you have to have. You don't get what you want. You get what you have to have. You will not rise to your ambitions. You're going to fall to your standards, right? You won't rise to your ambitions. You're going to fall to your standards. So you got to raise the standards. Say, no, this has to happen no matter fucking what. And if you believe that, if what you say is true, then you got to go at capacity. And you can't do it sometimes. You got to do it every day. If you believe it, if you want to ensure success, then that's what you're going to have to do. You know what I'm saying? But almost none of y'all have ever did that with anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, right? I'm not trying to like clown you and shit. Like I'm sure you got redeeming qualities outside of your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you should just make peace with the life you have. Maybe you should just learn to be happy, you know, doing the shit you do now, man. You know what I'm saying? Making, you know, enough money where you can like live. Like, I mean, when I say live, I mean like stay alive and like, you know, and eat food and like, you know, shelter yourself from the elements. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might have to make peace with that, and that's enough for you, right? But if you want more, if you like really want to excel, or if you need to excel, if you were in this kind of situation where I was in, where you had to do something that extraordinary to dig your family out the hole, then you got to go all out, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go all out, and you can't do it sometimes. It's every day. Like I ain't take no days off during that time, man. I was working 12, 14 hours a day, every day for like 2 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? And then I maintained that work ethic throughout my career, you know what I'm saying, until I got to millions. And then even still now, right? Like I'm a multi-millionaire and shit right now, as we speak. And I'm still, you know what I'm saying, set my alarm for 4:30 and shit. You know, like I'm working harder than y'all now. You know what I'm saying? Like you motherfuckers, I'm rich, like super rich, like very wealthy, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm working harder than y'all, right? And that shit, if that doesn't like make you feel like a certain way, then you really got to make peace with the way you at in life. You know what I'm saying? And just adjust your expectations. You know what I'm saying? But like the strongest among you would be like, fuck, you know, I need to go harder. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's step one. Like, fuck the law of attraction. I mean, don't think about it, right? Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But the truth is, yo, you got to go all out, man. I ain't never seen nobody get massively successful just thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I never seen that shit. I never heard of that shit. Nigga, that shit don't even happen in Hollywood, right? They don't even make movies about it. There was one movie made about that, and that was called The Secret, and that's it. Like, that's it. That shit does not happen outside of motherfucking like science fiction movies. You know what I'm saying? Outside of like the fucking X-Men or the Avengers or some shit, you know? that shit ain't reality. You know what I'm saying? You ain't a supernatural X-Men, nigga. You know, you a regular boy. And this time, and if you really want this shit, you got to go all out. Now, having that said, there is something to controlling your focus and what you think about. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activation system, right? And it decides what you'll focus on and what you'll see, right? And what you'll see. So, for example, we've all had this experience. You may get a car, new car, or maybe one of the homies get a new car, or somebody in your family get a new car. Then you start seeing that car everywhere, right? Again, you are not a motherfucking X-Men. You did not start attracting that shit. The car was there the whole time. The car was there the whole time. You just didn't see it before, right? But like once it was brought to your attention, then it was activated in your reticular activation system, right? And now it starts to see it everywhere, right? That happens all the time. And we can do this right now. Like, how does the chair feel against the back of your back? Or how does the chair feel against your thighs? Pause, right? Is it hard? Pause. Is it soft? Pause. Is it is it cold? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you really like put your attention there, right? What does the chair feel like? Or if you're standing, what does the bottom of your sole of your feet feel like, right? You know, what does the sole of your shoes feel like, right? You probably weren't paying attention to that shit this whole time until I brought it to your attention, right? But now you feel it. Now you can see it. Now you can make an assessment, right? Because there's so many different stimuli going on in the world, in our environment, different sounds, different sensory stimuli, sounds, things to see, things to feel, hear, smells, right? We can't pay attention to all of it. So your reticular activation system will decide what it's going to show you. And because of this, you don't believe what you see what you believe, right? You don't believe what you see what you believe, right? So somebody may get that car, you say, man, everybody getting this car. No, motherfucker, that car has been there the whole time. You just didn't notice it before, right? It's not your fault, right? You can't notice everything. You know what I'm saying? But if you start focusing, when you start focusing on the positive things, right? Then you'll start seeing different avenues for you to make things happen, right? But if you're like negative all the time, then everything you see is going to be through a negative lens, right? And it's like a tint, right? So something good will happen, or there might be opportunity in front of you, and you won't even fucking notice it, right? Because you've trained your reticular activation system to pick up on the negativity. You get what I'm saying? This is why I don't be watching fucking cable news and shit, you know, because their job is not to tell you the truth, right? Their job is to sell commercials, right? The job of the television, any show on television, is to sell commercial space to advertisers. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's free, right? Anytime something's free, you're the product, you know? It's to sell fucking commercials, right? So in order to get the most money per commercial, they got to get the most views, and to get the most views, they gotta sensationalize shit and, like, you know, work on different cognitive biases to get you to show you that, like, shit is falling apart, because they know people are going to be gravitating towards that, right? Because we were not conditioned, right? But, you know, it's in our DNA to look for danger, right? Because that's how we survived, you know, when we were living out in the wilderness amongst the beasts and shit, right? You know, our ancestors had to, like, be on the lookout for other tribes and other predators and shit of that nature. So, like, we have a heightened sense for danger, right? You know, the back in the days, the people who did that, they were able to survive, and the people who didn't, they died off. So we're literally descendants of people who, like, were good at looking out for danger, right? So the media will fucking weaponize this attribute against us, right? This part of our DNA is against us, and they'll try to make you think that the world is fucking falling apart. They try to make you think that everything's going bad. This is the left and the right. They try to make you think that everything is awful, right? And because they know you're going to tune in for that shit, and then they'll be able to sell commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like they zoom in, like a ton of good shit happened today. I promise you, right? But you'll never hear about it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna talk about the fucking the bad things that happen, right? But the truth is, statistically, there's never been less war on planet Earth than it is right now. There's never been less poverty on Earth. There's been right now, right? Life expectancy has never been higher than it is right now. There's never been a better time to be a human being, right? But they try to tell you that shit is fucking awful and the world is falling apart, right? But because they want to sell advertising. So if you digest that fucking negativity every day, then you'll start to see negativity. You know what I'm saying? You'll start to see negativity, and then you'll start to pick that shit up in your own life. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll train your reticular activation system to see negativity in your life, and then you won't see the fucking good shit in your life, right? And then that's going to change your focus. And then when you'll start to, whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. Whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. Whatever you focus on, you're going to feel, right? Like think about somebody right now in your family who's close to you who died, passed away, right? You start feeling sad if you focus on that for long enough. You know what I'm saying? How you miss them and shit, you know, and that's natural, right? Or you can start thinking about like you can start thinking about the fucking last time you got head, you know what I'm saying? And busted in somebody's mouth, right? You can start thinking about that shit and you'll get happy, right? It's just like whatever you focus on you'll feel even if it's not happening right now. Even if it's not real. Even if it's not real. Like, you know, it was about 2 years ago. My cousin, Chicago G, he like didn't come home one night, right? And his girl, she was like texting him all mad, right? All mad. Where you at, motherfucker? All this shit, right? Right. And she was getting super mad. She felt like anger at him, right? Because she felt like he was doing something foul, right? And because she was focusing on like, oh, he must be doing something foul if he would do this, right? The truth is, man, like he got in a car crash and died, right? You know what I'm saying? But she was feeling anger and it wasn't even real. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel something doesn't mean it's real. It all depends on what you focus on. You know what I'm saying? So I say, if you're able to control your focus and focus on where you want to go, right? And focus on accomplishing the goal and focus on being down the path and being a motherfucking G. If that's where all your focus is, then you will feel that, right? And that feeling is going to be advantageous for you as it pertains to the attainment of your goal. It's super critical, right? So, but it doesn't make you a magical X-Man, right? You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, like shit ain't just going to appear in your life, right? But because I had that image of me and I was focused, I had Johnny Ty make that Photoshop of me holding those awards, right? No matter what was happening, there was a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of struggles. You know, there was times where I had to pay my whole staff and I couldn't pay myself. You know what I'm saying? For like multiple months in a row because, you know, we was like still trying to figure some shit out, or because I made an investment in the future, right? And I had to pay everyone else, but I ain't pay me. And I was like, all right, I got to figure this shit out. And you start struggling, or like you have like customers acting crazy, or like employees acting crazy. You know, humans are going to behave different. You know what I'm saying? And you got to contend with all this shit that's coming at you. Instead of getting wrapped up in the negative, like I address the negative things, right? But I stay focused on the fucking goal, man. Accomplishing those goals, hitting that goal. And I really think that served me well on the road to accomplishing it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have got caught up in the negativity or caught up at how far I am from that goal, because I was super far when we set those, when I had Johnny make that Photoshop for me. If I focused on the distance, then I might have got discouraged. Or if I focused on all the obstacles that were in front of me, I might have got discouraged. But because I started focusing 100% on the goal, and I just kept my focus there, man. Yo, we got to get this shit. We're going to get this shit, man. Fuck this shit. We're going to get this. But I also worked hard. All that can be that each day. Like those two things combined, I think it put me in a position where it made success like a lot more likely. You know what I'm saying? So I trained my RAS to focus on the thing that I wanted as opposed to the problem. Because and another thing we should be clear on, every subject is two subjects. What I mean by that, let's say you want $1 million, right? You can focus on accomplishing $1 million, or you can focus on how you don't have $1 million, right? And you know, they mean the same thing, but like, what's your focus, right? You focus on, man, I'm trying to get $1 million. Like, fuck, I ain't got $1 million, right? They're going to feel different. And because because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel, whether it's real or not, that feeling is going to impact your behavior, right? Because if you're on the negative side, it's like, damn, man, I ain't got $1 million. Fuck. You might not even try, or if you do try, you might not try as hard, right? You know what I'm saying? You may still put in the action, but it won't be as effective. You know what I'm saying? But if you like, man, I'm getting this shit. Let's go, right? You're gonna be more enthusiastic, and you'll be able to you'll be able to attack your goal with a lot more vigor, right? It doesn't make you magic. It just means that like you're putting yourself in a position where it makes it more likely for you to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Just by changing your focus. Every subject is 2 subjects, right? So you can be like, so I'm super cognizant of how I speak and how others speak around me, right? So like I won't say shit like, man, I'm so thirsty. I'll be like, nah, I need to get some water, right? They mean the same thing, but like, I don't know. One you sound like a bitch, the other sound you like, nah, I'm gonna get that shit. I never say, man, I ain't got enough money. I'll say, nah, I need to get more money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted a Richard Millay for mad long. I didn't say, man, I ain't got enough money for that. That's whole shit, right? It's true, but it's whole shit. Or I say, I got to get more money. That's true too, right? But it's like, who would you bet on? The one who says, I ain't got enough money, or the guy who says, nah, I need to get more money? You can say, who would you bet on? Like if you was a gambling man, you know what I'm saying? You bet on me. The motherfucker like me. So, but it's all aspects. I don't say, man, I don't. I called myself this morning. I had been last 2 nights. I didn't get as much sleep as I wanted to, and I said, man, I said, man, I'm not getting enough sleep, and I called myself. I was like, ooh, hold up. As soon as it left my mouth, I said, pause. I said, nah, I got to make sure I get my sleeping back on track. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't say, for real, man. I don't even let people talk to me about that. It's like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I'm like, no. You need to say, I got to figure out what to do. You know, it's the same thing, but it's like it has different energy, and it's going to make it. And the focus is different. It's like you can focus on lack or you can focus on advancement. Right. At all times, every subject is 2 subjects. It's having what you want or the lack of having what you want. And there's 2 sides of the same coin, man. But how you phrase it, and how you talk to yourself, and how you think about it is going to affect how you feel about it. And how you feel about it is going to affect the action you take. Because make no mistake, the action you take is impacted by how you feel. I know it's real cool to say in self-help circles, everybody wants to be a motherfucking badass, and they say, I don't care how I feel, I'm gonna go after anyway. Yeah, I get it, bro. Calm your goofy ass down. But if you feel better, your action will be more effective, right? Let's say the classic example, if you ever had a blowjob from somebody and they was like, yeah, and they did it. They did it regardless of how they felt, right? But you know, how effective was it, right? Did you love it? Right. Now, there's no such thing as a bad blowjob, right? But you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't have real bad pizza, but it's like, you know, pizza's always good, but there's levels. There's levels, right? So, but then you take the chick who's like, man, she been dreaming about giving you a blowjob, man. And she attacked that shit. She attacked that shit with enthusiasm, man. Like she hop on that shit like a loose ball at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? She excited to gobble in that shit, man. She been scrambling for it, man. She been like checking off the days on her calendar, man. Can't wait to get you in her mouth, right? Which one of those blowjobs you want? Right? It's the same action. Like it's the same action, but one's going to be like more effective action than the other, right? And it's the same thing with like any action you take as it pertains to accomplishing your goals, right? If you attack it with enthusiasm, that action is going to be more effective, right? Like if you had to go to a gym, you got to go get a workout in. right? But if you all sad about some shit, like your fucking girl dumped you or your dog died or some shit, like, yeah, you still go to the gym, and that's to be commendable if you still work out under those circumstances. But like, how good is the workout going to be, right? If you look at that in contrast to, like, let's say you just fucking took some pre-workout, you've been watching Brandon Carter videos, you super hype, man, you might lift all the weights. You know what I'm saying? You probably hit some PRs, be the best workout of your life, right? It's the same action, but it's more effective depending on how you feel, right? So that's why that's how the law of attraction will work in your benefit, right? Decide what you focus on and really curate what you focus on, right? And focus on the things you want, right? As opposed to the lack of them, right? And then train your RS system to start seeing different opportunities as opposed to seeing the obstacles, right? The obstacles may still be there, right? But there's opportunities there too. You got to train your brain to see them and look for them. You feel me? And then how once you train yourself, right, you're gonna feel better about accomplishing your goal. Like, no matter what happens, just keep the goal front and center, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think it is helpful to imagine it, to visualize yourself doing it, right? Not because you're gonna be magic, not because you're gonna turn into fucking magic, right? But you're not Doctor Strange, right? I'm not trying to say that, but if you focus, if you do visualize yourself accomplishing the goals, and if you visualize how it's gonna be, right, you're gonna put you in a different state, in a different mind state. It's gonna change your emotions. Then when you attack your goals in that state, it's gonna be way more effective than if you attacked it in a defeated state, right? So to wrap this in a bow. In conclusion, law of attraction is not bullshit, but it's also been oversold, right? You got to work really hard, do all that can be done each day. You got to focus on what you want as opposed to what you don't want, right? And then you got to visualize it and get enthusiastic about it on a consistent basis. So when you do take the action that's required, when you're doing all that can be done each day, you're doing it with a enthusiastic, optimistic point of view. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to make the action more effective than if you all sad and depressed like a punk. Any other super chat? I guess we're just doing super chats now. I had another thing prepared, but that's gonna say it looked like a super chat time.
We have Holden's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I want freedom over. Excuse me. I want freedom over my geography, and I am getting a certificate in AI engineering. I am making good money, but I don't know if I should scale my lawn care biz or not. I also work as a bouncer at night, 85 hours a week.
I want freedom over my geography. I'm getting a significant AI engineering. I mean, what's the question though? Like, I don't know if there's like, is there a question in there? Like, I don't know if if you just, if maybe it's just like, you know, positive affirmations, you know. That's cool. You know, like, I don't know if there's a question.
Confused.
Nah, it's cool. Am I missing something?
Down. He's confused if he should scale down.
Oh, okay. Scale down because he wants to do this. I mean, get your shit together. Get your certificate. You know, finish the shit you're doing right now. In the long care, you want freedom over your geography. Means I guess that means you want to like be able to make moves and go wherever you want, whenever you want. Excuse me. And presumably that's why you getting into AI engineering. I like your work ethic though. You know what I'm saying? 85 hours a week. Let's just give this man a round of applause. You know, I'm a huge component of hard work. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I say get your certificate, get your shit together first. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop what you're doing. Never stop doing what's working until you really got a solid plan to move forward. Because it sounds like you don't have a solid plan just yet, you know. So come up with a game plan and try to get more focused. Huh? Yo, but I think what would help you, man, you seem like you like on this path anyway. It's the Baller Mindset course. The link is in the description. It's a free course. It's 100% free, and there's like nothing you can buy in that shit. And go ahead, check that out. I think you'll find that beneficial. Yeah, for sure.
We have KMC Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, how much should we be making before moving to Miami? I'm from Saginaw. I'm assuming that's my 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Pay less than $40K a year.
Damn. All right. I don't know, man. It depends on how you want to live in Miami. You know what I'm saying? This we got poor people too. We got homeless people and shit. You know what I'm saying? Crackheads. It depends on how you want to live, man. I think you need to figure out. I mean, honestly, you probably need to see what the fucking rent is like here and shit. And think about what you want to do and what that would entail, like the lifestyle you want to live, and then like work backwards for that, right? If it's hard for me to give you like a prescription on how much money you need because I don't know what your goals are and I don't even know what you're coming for, like it'd be difficult for me to give you a prescription as far as that's concerned. What I like to do is I just work backwards, whatever I'm trying to do, whatever I'm trying to get, I look at it, boom, try to get the math right, and then work backwards. All right, how much money I need to do that, right? And then start devising game plans to get that, man. You should backwards engineer that shit. But first you gotta like move to Miami. It can be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some areas you can get cheap rent here. You know what I'm saying? There's some areas you can get cheap rent, man. But definitely gonna want to have, you definitely gonna want to have you you know what I'm saying? Glock 43X or maybe like a SIG P365. You know what I'm saying? Because then you can hold like 12 plus 1. or maybe like, like if you want to live in one of those areas like Overtown or some shit, like you probably want to get you the Hellcat, the Springfield Hellcat, right? Because you can put 15 plus 1 in that shit, and then you can get the red dot for like better accuracy. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on if that's how you want to live or not,
We have Cedric.
Big Sid.
Yo, King Keto.
What up?
What is the best to start the online fitness training to attract niche clients? Instagram, YouTube videos, training or advices?
Yo, what up, Cedric?
Short. I am from Paris. Peace, big bro.
Yo, man, what up, man? You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Like he said that like super pleasant, right? And he's probably like got a good personality. But if he would have said that, like because he's French, if we would have heard he yo, Kikito, I'm from what's the best way to start an online fitness business? That's how they say. Yo, this shit, they always sound like he's so pissed, man. You know what I'm saying? But I love your people, you know what I'm saying? I love your people, except for like some of that bullshit y'all did. It wasn't you though. You black, man. You wasn't involved in this shit, man. But like, how like I don't really fuck with how like Hitler came through and they just said, nah, we ain't gonna fight. You good, man. Hitler, you can just have this shit. We ain't like leading ourselves anyway, man. Go ahead. I ain't really fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? But you probably cool, Cedric. I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I digress. Yo, when I hear questions like that, what's the best thing to do? It's like I'm always hesitant to answer these questions because it's like I feel like if I say something, then they are only going to do the thing, right? But the truth is, you should be doing all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be doing all of that. And like, and I'm not saying that to sound glib. It's really that's just the truth. Like, why not do it all? Like, why not go all out? You know what I'm saying? It's like why not post reels on Instagram? Take that same reel, post it on YouTube for shorts. You know what I'm saying? Why not take that same shit, put it on TikTok? Like why not go all out? Remember, Cedric, it's all that can be done each day, player. You know what I'm saying? And it's yeah, like I'm always hesitant to answer questions like that when people are like want to take a prescription and then say, okay, what's the one thing I should do? I hear that a lot, and I don't know if you meant it like that, but it's, I always take it. It's like, yo, nah, man, like do it all. Go all out, man. Balls to the wall. Like, and it's beautiful that you have these things. You got to remember, I didn't have none of this shit. All I had was YouTube, regular. Like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, that shit did not exist when I started. In fact, I ain't even have the iPhone wasn't out, or it might have just came out, but it didn't do HD video and shit. Pictures was trash. You know, I started with this camera. Yo, throw me the camera. I keep this here, man, just so motherfucker I know my roots and shit. Yeah, I started with this shit. This shit's called a fucking it's called a flip cam, right? It's like the first HD camera to fit in your pocket. It was 720p, and that's why it's called the flip. You hit that comes out this USB that goes into your fucking shit, you know. And this is all I had. No mic inputs. And I just started with this shit. I bought this shit off eBay for like $50. Like, let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, like, you got way more advantages than I have. If I was you, I'd take advantage of all of them. You know what I'm saying? I use all of them. I deploy all of those social medias towards towards my goal. You know? Unless there's a compelling reason for you to focus on one, or like, but I don't see it. You know.
We have Study Juice Man.
All right.
I'm only reading it because it says Gymnasium Jesus.
Oh, you said my name, yeah.
Can we get an acceptance tonight? That was hilarious.
It was though. You know what I'm saying? It was though. You know what I'm saying? Nah, ain't no cookies to accept. Like, you know what I'm saying? What else we got?
We got Jimmy.
Big
What
Jimmy.
are your thoughts on taking a night shift job at a fast food joint? I feel embarrassed to take it.
Oh man, you know, listen, man, if you in a position where you gotta take it, like listen, man, I ain't too proud to do nothing. Excuse me. I ain't too proud to do nothing, man. I remember there was one point I was passing out flyers in Times Square, man, for like online gambling shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was passing out flyers once, you know, just in Times Square, and I seen some of the homies from like college and shit. It's like, oh fuck, what happened to you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, I'm sorry, trying to get it, man. It's a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done it all. You know, I've done it all. Like, I ain't. Listen, man. I may seem like an asshole, and I may seem like I got a big bravado. You know what I'm saying? And I may seem like I got a huge ego, and all that shit is true, right? But like, I don't let my ego get in the way of my fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mop floors if I had to, man. If it came down to it, I mop floors right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was in that position where I had to feed my family and take care of the people who I love, yeah, I mop floors, man. Hang out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not above nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. I can't tell you how you should live your life. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand. You gotta decide. You know, is your ego worth more than your motherfucking money? You know, if that's where you at. That's where you at, man. You know, I remember fucking New Year's Eve, man. I'm in Times Square, man, passing out fucking flyers for Fandango. You know what I'm saying? Fandango, the movie shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm passing out Fandango flyers in Times Square New Year's Eve, man. I'm freezing as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, hoping the terrorists don't come through again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like post 9/11. And I'm freezing. I can't feel my fucking fingers or my toes. And I'm passing out shit to tourists for Fandango, man. You know, for like $10 an hour. And that's just where I was at that point, man. But I ain't had no pride when it comes to that, man. That's just what I did. New Year's Eve, while everybody was celebrating, the homies there out having fun, partying and shit. And I'm like, nah, I gotta get some money, man. I got people who care about me. I got shit I gotta do, man. Fuck what you talking about, man. But that was me. That's me. You know what I'm saying?
We have the Blue Whaler.
Mm-hmm.
So you star on the Noah Trades episode?
Yeah, Noah Trades. I remember we went to that dude's house. I was like, yo, this kid, man, he like a dope ass trader. Remember? We went to his crib and we was talking
like them?
Yeah, them kids. Yeah, that's what's up.
I'm working on being a professional Forex trader. What are your thoughts on day trading?
Yo, okay, it's like anything else, right? It's just math, right? So like, it's difficult for me to tell you to pursue that because statistically, you're going to fail, right? Statistically, the odds are you're going to fail, right? However, I know people who have beat the odds, right? You know what I'm saying? But it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to beat those odds, to do that shit professionally. And you know, it's difficult for me to tell you to go down that path. You know what I'm saying? But it can work. I mean, I legit know people who are pro day traders who make a lot of money. But it's super difficult, and it's super like, because day trading is different. Like I do mostly like swing trading, right? Which is, you know, like, you know, when it comes to the stock market or any of the markets, the longer the time for horizon, the higher possibility of success, right? Like if you just put fucking some money in S&P 500 today and don't care about it for 10 years, you have a way higher likelihood of it succeed, of you being profitable in 10 years than if you put it in for 10 minutes, right? Fucking anything can happen in 10 minutes, right? So like the longer you stretch out the time horizon when it comes to investing, the higher the probability of success. So day trading, you squeezing that probability into like really like the low. It's like the only thing, yeah, like that day trading and scalping, that's when it's the highest risk. You know what I'm saying? However, you can get like big rewards if you're good at it, right? You know, but like not many people are. And I'm not saying you aren't or you can't, right? It's just, you know, it's difficult for me to tell you to like do the riskiest thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like difficult for me to tell you to do the riskiest thing. But I mean, I'm a risk taker myself, man. So I definitely do a lot of trading, but I do swing trading with Romulus, the homie Romulus and Greg. So like, you know, if y'all want to learn more about that, that's because trading is like this, right? It's like boom, right? It's like you got here, you got high risk, and high reward, right? Then as you go down the scale, you got like low risk, right? It's still risk, right? You got like lower reward, right? Right. So it's kind of like day trading is up here. Right. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like long investing. Long-term investing is here, right? So this is like you just buy and hold, you know what I'm saying, for like fucking 10, 20 years, right? Low risk. And, you know, you might, you know, it compounds for sure, but it's like low reward, slow. It's like super slow money, you know what I'm saying? But in the middle, you have swing trading. Right. And that's where, like, I definitely do some of this. I'm sorry. I definitely like most of my money is here. If I'm gonna be honest with you, like the majority of my money is here. And then I also have but I also like I also have like, you know, like 6 figures here that I swing trade with. Right. And I've made money day trading for sure. But man, you be out here sweating bullets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have like and I'm actually, you know, I'm good. I'm not as good as Nortrades or some of these other guys, right? You know, but I can do it successfully, but I wouldn't want that kind of pressure. You know what I'm saying? I think like my appetite for risk sound like moves right here. If you guys want to know more about swing trading and shit, like definitely join the Discord, learn from Romulus. We got some shit in there, Romulus and Greg and the homies. And long-term investing is like, that's the shit that the homie like Moneybird focuses on, the big homie. And that's where most of my money is, right? But you know, I still get a lot of income from here, right? But the income I get from here, I put right here. I put the income I get from swing trading, I put right here. So I mean, it's difficult for me to tell you not to do it though, right? You know, I don't want to crush your dreams. I don't want to stifle your ambitions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like you can do it, just know that you're doing the riskiest thing. So you better like put in the most effort to get really good at that shit.
We have him. Janavian Jesus, legend. Moment of silence. How can I get a consultation? Love the message. Thank you.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. Listen, join the victory unit. You know what I'm saying? I might have something like for people who want like some additional help. I'm thinking about taking over some people taking on some people outside of like the fitness industry, because that's all I really help with. That's where I focus on, right? You know, but I know I can help a lot of people with a lot of different things, you know, and I'm thinking about it. I'm not making no promises, you know what I'm saying? But if you join the victory unit, there might be an opportunity for you to get some of that shit popping at some point. You know, but it might not be too, right? I want to be honest with you. I want to set expectations appropriately. Like, it definitely might not be an opportunity as well.
We got Holden with a follow-up.
All right.
I'll continue to scale then. How do I know it is time to delegate the labor? I just want to do the marketing and sales. Also, thanks for your fast food and fitness hacks. I got to scale and everything.
You're like this guy. Pause. One thing I would say, man, you know, okay, when you're doing your business, right? When you got your business, right? This is why business is so hard, right? Let me tell you why it's so hard. It's like, first you got your business, right? Sorry. That was dyslexia. I know you don't spell business with an A, right? Sometimes my brain don't work, man. Some dyslexic shit, like legit dyslexia, right? You got a business, you got to handle you got to do the product or service, right? Boom. You got to do the marketing, boom. You got to do the sales, boom. You got to handle customer service, and there might be some other shit you got to do depending on the business, right? And then what you got to understand is like, the very first things you should do once you get to the point where your time is maxed out, right? Because now you start off, you're doing all this shit, right? And when there's no more time in the day, then you can't scale, right? If it's just time, right? So then you get to the point where, okay, maybe you get someone else. I would outsource the shit I hate the most, right? So maybe you get someone else doing the fucking, the shit, actually doing the thing, right? And now you just do marketing, sales, and customer service. That would probably be the fucking highest leverage tax a minute ago. And then you get to the point where you got somebody else handling the customer service, boom. And then listen, man, you can get to a point where you're doing marketing and sales, where you got someone else doing the marketing and sales too. Now you're taking yourself out of the business, right? But at that point, because you got to learn different shit. Now you got to learn fucking leadership. You got to learn human resources. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to learn other shit. Right. So soon as it seems like it gets easier, now you got other shit to learn. And like this shit is hard too. Like this shit is hard. Like it's hard to be a leader. It's hard to handle fucking employees, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to hire people, fire people. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why business is so hard. Because you got to know all the shit by yourself at first. And then you got to learn how to be a leader and a manager and manage these things, right? So I know you say you just want to do marketing. And that's cool. You could do that shit, man. But like, truth is, you probably want to get somebody else to do marketing too, and then you just be like the leader of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to learn leadership. You're gonna learn these other skill sets, and this is why business is so hard. I think a book that will help you a lot is the E-Myth. The E-Myth. I think every solopreneur who's like trying to expand, trying to scale, and they need to start building a team, I think that's like required reading for everybody who has a business. Like if you ain't got no business, man, if you don't have a business, you don't have no business reading the E-Myth, right? It's not for you yet. Like learn how to turn $1 into $2 before you read that book. But like at the point you're at, when you're thinking about scaling and delegating shit, that's a good book for you to read for sure. That'll help you out tremendously.
We got David 111.
All right.
Brandon, do you ever take time specifically for thought? How frequently, if so?
It's not like a dedicated time. I probably should, right? But for me, it's just like, you know, every thing I try to accomplish, I got to put together a plan, and that's kind of like my thinking time. Like when I'm putting together a plan, but it's not like I don't have a dedicated thinking time. You know, like I look at it more like action, like putting together a plan, working on content. Like when I'm planning content, when I'm working on shit, like that's when I like do my thinking. You know what I'm saying? Which is like a lot. I spend a lot of time doing that shit.
We have Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, King Keto.
Hi.
When tracking calories, if your max is 2,500 calories, is that the limit for that day, even if you burn some from working out? Thank you.
No, so you don't think about. So I don't want you to think about it, Josh, in that way. How you want to think about it is, I'll show you, man. You want to think about what. Apparently, you're trying. It sounds like you're trying to lose weight, right? Cool. So what you need to think about is, fuck. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. I moved it. Like what you need to think about is how many calories you want to burn each day, right? So I bet. Well, you need to think about how many calories you want to burn each day, right? So let's say you want to burn 500 calories each day. It don't matter what the macros look like. Let's say, like you could do it like this too, right? You can have 3,000 calories as long as you burn 3,500, right? You know, it doesn't even matter. Like it's not important. It's about the caloric deficit, right? But you need to know how many calories you're burning, right? So you gotta track it. I don't know why these fitness guys they should all be telling you to wear a fitness tracker. Now that we have this technology at our disposal, like we should all be taking advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wear the Oura ring, you know. But it can look like this. Let's say I'm just using 500 for simple math. Like let's say that's what you want your caloric deficit to be. If you do that 5 days, if you do that 7 days a week, it'll equal 3,500 calories, and that's a pound of fat. 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. And you do that, you lose a pound of fat a week. Or you can fucking pump the numbers up, right? Like you want to eat more, man. How much you want to eat, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's cool, man. Fuck it. You want to eat 4,000 calories, man? You just want to go ham one day? That ain't no problem, man. You're just gonna have to burn way more calories, and that's gonna make things more difficult for you, though, right? Because it's easier to limit calories. It's easier to limit consumption than it is to burn calories. For example, the average person burns about 100 calories when they run a mile, right? 100 calories when they run a mile. But like a bag full of almonds, like a handful of almonds is like 100 calories. Like a fucking cup of rice is 100 calories. A fucking banana is 100 calories, right? So it's like it's super difficult to exercise yourself into a caloric deficit. I mean, it can be done for sure. Like it's just going to be more difficult and more time consuming. Where it's just a lot simpler to eat less. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to eat more, man, go for it. So you just got to burn enough. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Think about what the deficit is, not like necessarily the calories that you consume. Like the deficit was important.
We have True. Hey, Brandon, how did you build up to reading 2 books a week while still working 4 jobs?
You just read it, man. You just set the time. You just set the time, and you plan it, man. It's like if you've seen some of the other videos, man, you got to live out the calendar, man. Shit don't happen on accident. Like you gotta plan that in your calendar and use your calendar. The beauty of the calendar is you can use it to design your life. You can like actually design the life you want to live in the calendar, man. Whatever it is you want to do or however you want to accomplish, man. So you just got to schedule that shit. You know what I'm saying? And also, not only you scheduling it, but like keep a book on you, right? Or your Kindle on you. And like if you find yourself in a line or in an Uber or like, you know what I'm saying, or you find yourself in a waiting room, just get to reading. You know what I'm saying? That shit adds up. You know what I'm saying? For me, when I was working on the jobs, man, it's Subway. I was on the Subway, baby. I was on the F train. You know what I'm saying? Or the E train, whichever one came first. You know what I'm saying? It was going the same way. And I get on that F train and, man, I get to reading, man, especially because I was all the way like deep in Queens. Right. So I probably get a seat when I get on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm on the seat and I'm fucking reading, you know what I'm saying? Old lady's gonna have to stand, man. I'm trying to expand my mind, old lady, man. Like I appreciate what you did in the civil rights movement and shit, but but like right now, man, like you had to march so I could sit. You know what I'm saying? You had to listen, you had to march so I could sit, man. Like I'm living you and Martin Luther King's dream over here, man. I'm trying to make the ancestors proud. So you gotta stand, lady. Because I got to read this book, man. I got to make my mind better and inspire the youth. You know what I'm saying?
We have John.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brandon. What time of the day do you allocate your attention to reading? What is the routine? Also, if you can go back in the time, would you sacrifice partying, socializing for learning, getting money?
Yes. First, to answer that part of the question, yes. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%, man. But I didn't do a whole lot of it. I wasn't like a party animal like y'all. Like I'm saying, like the time I would have sacrificed doing that shit was like before my father died, right? Because if I had the work ethic that I had after he died, if I had that before he died, he probably wouldn't have died, right? Because there is an amount of money where I could have like, you know, say I could have put him in a position where it's like, all right, he would have felt like he might have had some better options. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was only 24, right? You know, the internet was in its infancies, man. But like, no, there is an amount of money that if I had it, I would have a dad. I don't know what that money is, what that number is, but you know. And kind of when he died, I was like, you know what, man? After that shit, you know, I remember the therapist I was seeing at the time, she was like, man, you can't think of it like that. Yeah, but it's the truth, bitch. So shut the fuck up, right? Like, and now you trying to make me feel good and shit, right? But yo, that's the truth, man. There is an amount of money that if I had it, I still have a dad. So I just vowed to never be in a position where like someone who I love, you know what I'm saying, needed some help from me and I couldn't help them. I just never let that happen again. And I will never let it happen again. And yeah, so this was the time before that, man. You know, like prior to that, if I would have went super hard at something, that's what I did. As far as allocating time to reading, again, like you can put that motherfucking, you can put it in your calendar, and it doesn't matter what time of day you do it. You gotta find time. And so like my schedule and your schedule are gonna be different things, right? You know, like I can do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? But you might have a job, you might have obligations, you might have different responsibilities than me that may be time sensitive, right? So you're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to like just find the time for yourself when you can do it and put it in your calendar. And also, like what I'm saying, like keep a book on you. Keep a book on you. You know what I'm saying? And like fucking, and you find yourself in a line or in a waiting room, public transportation, crack open one of them books, man. It's super powerful. Like you find yourself in an Uber, fucking read, man. Don't be out here scrolling and shit, scrolling the internet. That shit'll get you caught up, man. That's another. I mean, like my whole shit, no social media on my phone. I got my shit gray. I got my shit gray. I took out all the color, man, so it's like less appealing. You know, adding friction. You know what I'm saying? But you want to decrease friction with the reading, right? So what does that look like? Leaving that shit with you, on you at all times. You know what I'm saying? Always having a book at your disposal so you can like start digging in there. Pause. All right.
We have Eric. BBC. Pause. I'm 26 and making $150K annually.
Come on.
I just want to say I truly appreciate you for all the free content you put out. I listen to you daily.
Mm-hmm.
Currently planning the next step to scale up. Any mental fortitude to adapt.
Yo, let's give this man a round of applause, man. I just want you all to see. You listen to the King. You listen to Brandon Carter, King Keto, Gymnasium Jesus on a consistent basis, right? You too, you know what I'm saying, can come up and start making some bread. You know, he did. My man, Success Leaves Clues. Eric Alvarez just laid out the game plan for you for your financial success, man. All right, he only 26, man. He running circles around you, motherfuckers, man. Y'all need to catch up. Don't let him lap you again, man. He about to pass you again, man. Look, you know, but now shout out to you, man. That's great to hear, man. I'm glad I played a role. I'm glad I played a role in your success, man. Let's keep moving to the next level. You know, that question was like super broad, and it's gonna be difficult for me to because at the level you at, right, you already doing something, right? A broke motherfucker, I can just say, hey man, you gotta work hard, and he'll be like, oh shit, man, I never thought about it like that, man. You know, you right, man. That's mind blowing, man. I should work, and I should work hard, damn. Right. That's what fucking broke. That's what you can say to the broke boys. But somebody's actually doing well, making six figures, you know, close, you know, knocking on the door of fucking $200,000. $200,000 is striking distance, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? You can see it. It's right there, man. It's right there in front of you. You just gotta go grab it, man. Grab it by the fucking throat, you know. Show who's boss, man. Your question was too broad. You know, I had to have more specifics. But in order to help you out, man, make sure you check out the Balder Mindset, right? Like there's a part in there in that course where like specifically for like somebody like you who's already where you need to be. And I took that course and I laid out like a solid game plan, like a roadmap. Like it ain't no motherfucking just feel good type of shit. It's like a real game plan for you wherever you at or wherever you started from to get to the point where you really balling. So I think you'll find that. I know you're gonna find that like super beneficial. You know?
Holden,
Mm-hmm.
just order the book. Thanks. I just don't have a lot of time to think.
Yeah, not for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, you can't talk like that. Remember what I said earlier, man? Say, y'all got to find more time to think, right? Because if you say you don't got time, then you kind of like, you gotta you kind of like you threw in the towel, like you gave up. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to clown you or no shit like that. I'm trying to like help you, you know. But if you say I gotta find time, I gotta make time, I gotta make some time, I gotta figure out a way to get time, right? Both are true, right? But one is like, okay, one is proactive and you about to go out here and attack that shit and figure it out. The other one, you kind of just threw in the towel and say, hey, I ain't got time, man. It is what it is, right? So you gotta change that, man. Don't never talk like that. I don't want none of y'all to talk like that. And I don't say that. I say that with love. You know, I want y'all to succeed and I want y'all to give me the credit for it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I want y'all to give me the credit. I want y'all to give me the praise for it. So I gotta make sure y'all, I call that shit out every time I see it. Like, don't say you ain't got the time. Say I gotta find a way to get the time. You know what I'm saying? That's just a different mindset. You gotta approach everything with that mindset, baby.
He also said you the GOAT.
Yo, there's a lot of truth in that statement. There's a lot of truth there. Billy GOAT.
Spartacles?
Yup.
Bless everybody and keep spreading the truth.
Man, you know what it is, man. We gonna keep doing it.
We got David 111.
Uh-huh.
Brandon, do you think owning audiobooks is less adventurous?
Yo, listen, I don't have like a strong I think you meant advantageous. Adventurous. Oh. I think advantageous. Yeah. Right. No, I don't have a strong bias either way. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I can read faster than I can listen. You know, but that's me, right? And then I like to be able to take notes and like go back to my notes and shit like that. So I'll fuck around and get both, man. Like I'll get the audio book. If I like really like a book, I'll get the physical book, the audio book, and the Kindle book, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you can't take notes on an audiobook unless you sit down and take notes, which I've done before, right? I sit down, listen to shit and took notes and like I'm in a lecture, you know, but it's I guess I probably have a bias towards the physical book. You know, I probably have a bias towards the physical book, man. But like, listen, I'm not telling you what to do, man. Whatever way you can digest the knowledge the best, where you keep getting it, then I want you to do that, man. If it's all audiobooks, it's all audiobooks, man. Go with that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right. Yo, listen, guys. We dropped a lot of jewels today, man. Who else can fucking do the whole podcast by itself? Niggas need guests and shit, man. They be out here trying to fucking, you know what I'm saying, get fucking. We just do this shit. Oh, there's another one. Hold up, what's he talking about?
We have one more by Abraham.
Nah, my man snuck in right at the buzzer. My man snuck in at the buzzer. What up?
He did. I am 15K in debt. Should I try to learn a high income skill while paying off the debt, or should I try to pay off the debt first and work a second job until it's paid off and then learn a high income skill?
Yo, you need the baller mindset, man. Like you know what I'm saying? That 20K in debt, man, you got to get that shit off you. That shit be stressful, man. Baller mindset to help you out. Like I ain't just trying to tell you, ain't nothing you can buy in there, man. Shit is like legit free. Like that shit is gonna help you out tremendously, man. Where you at right now? You know what I'm saying? Because you got a negative net worth. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta step that game up. But it's all good, man. We all gotta start somewhere, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. Listen, not everybody can do this shit, man. Just talk to the fans like it's all good, man. No fucking guests. 2 hours straight. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me, man. We do this shit every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what it is. Let's go.